So my idea was Tibetan Yak Clothing. Sounds a little weird, but I'll explain it later on. My original concept or introduction is I want you to think of like warm clothing. There are typical candidates come to mind like wool, synthetics, fleece. They don't have the pros and cons based on what they're used for. Synthetic fabrics you may have heard of been like nylon, polyester, advanced ones like Gore-Tex and waterproof fabrics. Some of the not so well-known ones are like coal black, sea chains, and 3X dry, which are used for more technical fabrics. Polyester fleece is like if you ever look in like a Snuggie or your typical hoodies you find even now in the poly store. That's what they use. And between those two, they're kind of more synthetic ones where they work, and they work very well specifically, but not as a general fabric. Some of them don't breathe very well. Some of them aren't. You can't get like campfire with them because they will melt and they will stick to your skin, and that's not good. Other ones are like fleece. Once it gets wet, it's kind of ruined. You have to dry it off, and it loses all warming properties. It sticks to you. It's not very comfortable. It gets clammy, and it's just a kind of horrible fabric. Cotton is used in everything. It's cheap, easy to make. You can find it anywhere. Huge export. The problem is it has no insulation properties whatsoever, even canvas. Cotton is, once it gets wet, all the air pockets within the fabric clog, so they won't trap air and you don't stay warm. So if a wind comes by, you're cold. Every kid knows that. You went to a pool party, jumped in with your shirt and the excitement, got out, well, you were freezing the rest of the day because your shirt was wet and it was cotton. The best that we have so far is merino wool. Now, merino is an actual breed of sheep typically found in New Zealand, and there are certain parts of the world. And the idea is that this kind of wool is fireproof, so if you hold lighter to it, it will burn, but it will not catch fire. It will put itself out. It won't smell because it has a chemical called lanolin, which is a fatty lipid in this sheep's skin, which allows it to stay a little more comfortable. It's better for your skin, doesn't irritate it too much. And it also is much warmer because it's able to trap a lot more heat due to the density of the fibers. It's not a plant-based fiber, it's not synthesized, it's natural fiber. While all of these do work, I do feel that none of them kind of fill the jack of all trades role where you can have one hoodie to rule them all, so to say. You have to have kind of a layer. Yes, I made a reference to that. But it's kind of like you have to have a hoodie for this or a jacket for that or this and that. It's annoying having all these jackets together if you want to go on a backpacking trip. Well, you don't have room for that. You want to travel light, you want to go everywhere, and you can't do that. So my concept is, So the idea is if I incorporate yak wool, specifically Tibetan yak wool, I can kind of get the best of both worlds. Before I get into details about why yak was better, here's my design. So this picture is actually called the Flux hoodie by a company I like called Triple Lot Design. And it's the closest I could find to what I wanted to do. Now, if you notice around the neck how it has the V, I've gone to Iceland and it's really windy and it's really damn cold. So when the wind hits you, a lot of the time the V irritates your neck sometimes after extended use. And just a kind of flat circle like most of your shirts have, wind can go in there, and when it fills up your jacket, you freeze. And it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes when you're waiting to watch something lights or you're traveling somewhere or whatever. So my idea was, you know what like a neck gaiter is, where you kind of pull it up for yourself when it's cold. It's one of those when it's actually sewn into the hoodie of the jacket. So it's built in. Yeah, so like I said, it would come up over your hood and you put the hood on so your whole face is covered. You can cover your ears, your nose, you keep kind of climate control easier. A sleeve pocket which would go in the corner here. And I have that because you don't really need it now, but if you're abroad or if you're in a workplace, you can carry a room key, you can carry a key to your door like for dorms here, car keys, a little bit of cash if you need, euros if you're overseas. I would have thumb hole sleeves because thumb holes are amazing to keep your hands warm. Kangaroo pocket because it kind of helps a lot if you're carrying like a map or you need something related to what you're doing at that specific time. That works very well. It's also low profile because like here you don't really see it's there, but you can see the slits where your hands would go in. Now, the actual fabric choice is a big difference in 5 microns. It makes a big difference. 25 microns is a little bit thicker and not as comfortable against the skin, but it is a lot more durable as a fabric. So it can take a bit more abrasion resistance. It can take wear and tear throughout the day if a backpack on and off, you're rustling around everything. Underneath that is 20 micron. 20 micron is similar to cashmere. If you ever felt that, it is extremely soft. But this one is a lot cheaper than cashmere, and it has a lot more benefits than cashmere, which I'll get into now. And benefit of yak wool, and this is how it kind of ties back into bio, is that it's 50% warmer than merino because it traps a lot more air. The fibers and the hairs themselves are a little bit longer, a little bit wider. It has resistance to static charge, so you can't shock your friends all the time, which is kind of nice because you walk into a door now, shock yourself, it hurts, it's going after a while. It's very breathable. It allows moisture to escape readily, so if you're sweating and you want more like humid temperatures, if you walk outside and come back inside, you won't sweat because it's able to release, it can hold 70% of its weight in water and easily release that weight as well. So if you're sweating a lot, it will release it, or if you want to kind of keep your heat in, it will do that as well. It's a very technical fabric, but naturally that way, not really emphasized. Very soft, like I said, it's cashmere, which is one of the softest fabrics out there. It's better than silk, better than any kind of cotton you can find, even Jersey cotton. Odor resistance. I mentioned lanolin a while back in my merino wool. It's also present in yak wool. And what that also does is it helps, it's an antimicrobial property that it has. So the bacteria from your armpits will not grow and you won't smell. Which, having backpacked for a month, cotton starts to smell really bad. And finding a laundromat in a foreign country is a lot harder than you think. So having something you can wear for a week, wash it in the sink at your place where you're staying at, and wear it again is amazing. Totally worth the price, in my opinion. And then the strength, this is where it really ties into bio, and that is that it's almost twice as strong as yak wool, as sheep's wool is, because yaks have a higher level of sulfur-based proteins than amino acids. They developed this because they're almost 10,000 feet higher in elevation because they're the Mongolian plateau and Tibetan plateau compared to those in New Zealand. Because they're higher, it has to grow a lot thicker to withstand temperatures as low as negative 40 degrees Celsius at times, with 70-mile-an-hour winds, and it has to be tougher. And because of that, over time in evolution, their fabric themselves and the chains that make up their hairs have gotten a lot stronger. So it adds to the more benefit of the jacket as a whole. Now, my supplier, and this is going to tie into what I want to do later on, is a company called Kahuna, because I want to start a company after this. Now, the problem with a lot of this is if you see, like, everybody's seen the PETA videos where they shave the animals and they're in pain and all that kind of stuff, and you don't want to do that, because you want to make a product that's, you feel good wearing it, you feel good you know where it came from. So I would partner with a company called Kahuna. Kahuna is a British company, but they work with Tibetan yak herders in a lot of nomadic families. So to them, the yak is everything. The coarse hairs make their homes called yurts. The finer hairs make their clothing. They do this for all their lives, all they ever know. Now, they use a lot of the finer hairs for themselves to make clothing, as you can see here, what she's wearing, but a lot of them have extra. Now that extra, Kahuna pays them a flat fee, which is a bonus to what they get from the local area, so it's a bonus money they get on allowance. And it's a flat fee, and they're able to take whatever extras they have, bring it to their company, and it's a safe and sustainable way to get it. It's safe because the yaks, you don't shear them, it falls off naturally as the seasons change, and it happens a lot with so many yaks. I think 70% of all yak herds are in Mongolia. And two is that, the humanistic side of it is that they're also making more income as more companies want to partner with them, so the families benefit even more. Onto my company, this is where I would really apply what I'm kind of learning from this. And I would want to start a small business, and I like to keep it small because when it gets big, you can't really control what kind of happens in your company. Things happen, you have mishaps, all those other things. And kind of small companies, you know who you're hiring, you know who you're working with, where it's coming from, and I like that aspect of the company. It would be expedition gear testing and development, which is very similar to what Triple Up Design does, the hoodie that I got the concept from. I would kind of partner with them even to get like other adventure projects. I would call it the company Lost Nomad. It's still going to be gear you can get lost in. You want to have a gear that if you own it, you know you're going to own it for the next 10 years and you're going to get lost around the world in. I would base it in Reykjavik, Iceland. I'm not just saying because I've been there, it's a favorite city, I may be a little biased. But it is a great city Iceland's a great country to test where we want to test our gear from. And then because it has glaciers, mountain ranges, volcanic fields, I mean like black sand volcanic plateaus. It's very windy, it's cold, it's rainy all the time. And it sounds dreary, but it's actually a beautiful way if you think about it. And it allows you to, you can either go from like this, or you're freezing, you're absolutely dreadful, but having fun, to where you're just camping out like that, and you want a hoodie that can do the best of both worlds. Whether you're covered in snow, or you're just looking at the view. Now, people we apply this to is this Arctic surfing. These pictures are by my favorite photographer, Chris Picard. He does amazing work. If you need to partner with him to help with our company as well, other partnerships we work with. Arctic surfers, a lot of time they wake up in the morning or they come back from surfing, getting out of the wetsuit, you're freezing. Cotton won't cut it, and synthetics take too long to warm up, so Yakin can help them. A lot of mountain guys, a lot of mountaineering, glacier guys out there, even scientists and researchers who go out there to test like tectonic plate testing, need warm gear as well, so we can partner with them. For me personally, backpackers, I would love to have a hoodie like this because it would solve most of my problems. I could make my backpack weigh a lot less. You can shave 10 pounds off just in gear, which is amazing. And then also, us college kids, because let's be honest, we're all in the hunt for the perfect hoodie that's comfortable in and out wherever you go, and it's kind of what we all need in our life. And yeah, that's kind of my idea, just to make a company based off what's already out there, but kind of applying what we haven't really thought about. In partnership, this whole connected network of people who can go into adventure camps, things like that. tying into the whole business, if I go back to the whole business aspect of it, just to how I want to do like gear testing and development, I would like to partner with local companies in Iceland, to the point where if they were going out, say, to watch the lights, right? I could give them my hoodie and say, here, you guys, take my gear, try it out. If you like it, come back to us, we'll give you a discount. And that way I can foster more money and more into the local economy while helping myself out. So I can work the best of both worlds. So that's that, and then there's my solutions. Yes.
So you talked about how the yak wool has the ability to either, I think, hold in water or release it.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. So how does the fabric know when to do?
It doesn't, but it's the sense that like, you ever wore like a hoodie somewhere, you were like cold climate, like a polyester hoodie, right? When you buy from like a poly store from Walmart or wherever. You have to sweat, and while you're still warm, you feel clammy because the moisture's still trapped in there. Yes, it will absorb some, but it won't release any. Yak wool makes a sense where it blocks the wind, but it's able to it helps evaporate easier, the way the pores are in the fabric in the hairs itself. And that's kind of one of the pros and cons of it are. So, any other questions? Even further from here, anything else? Yes.
You're saying that you will get the yak wool from the Noma groups on.
Yeah.
But if you're getting that in a low rate, how would you be able to get it? If the product does sell, you will get a lot of demand from it. And how would you get how much wool is possible so you can sell your product?
That's a very good question. I would want to partnership with Kahuna and Triple L Design. They do it the same way where they're both small companies and they do small batch runs. What that's about batch runs is you get a kind of like a cult following at first, where everybody says, yo, you have to try this, it's the best gear out there, you want to make a good product. And you can do that in smaller batches, you have more attention to detail, make everything perfect. And you say here, you can put out newsletters saying like Triple L Design does, or TAD, I'm calling TAD for now, it's easier. TAD will send a newsletter saying, hey, we're getting a reshipment or a new stock in at this time. Be ready to order. The stock's in, they sell it because everybody wants the product. And then they have to redo it again. And they've been doing very successfully doing that because as long as you make good product, it will sell. It may take a little while, but it's quality product that's what's going to sell. Let's be honest, it's kind of annoying giving, you buy a lot of cheap things and they just don't go away. Or you buy one good thing and it stays with you. So.
Costa's question.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah, half question, half comment. First of all, I love it. I think it's fantastic. My wife and I actually thought about getting into alpaca fur.
That's also amazing tube properties as well.
Really amazing. It's actually a hollow fiber.
Yeah, that's the hollow fiber of the word alpaca.
Right, is alpaca. The question I had was, you didn't actually specify market areas, like regions of the world that you would want to market to, except for Iceland. And,
yeah, I did focus a lot on that. Actually, I kind of forgot I meant to, but if you look at like where the pictures are, a lot of them kind of showcase where I would market to. Like people in Ireland, where it's like it's always raining every time, would help as well. England, the running joke is you never see the sun because it's always raining.
Right.
Can work there as well. I know the winters are really harsh now with what's happening, like in up north, they can use it a lot. It can apply.
Where I came. UP, the Upper Peninsula.
The Upper Peninsula.
In Canada. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, those
Canada, you can sell it, even all the Scandinavian countries out there, people in Switzerland can use it. Anybody really in a cold climate could use it as well.
But it would be horrible here in Florida.
Yeah,
We're here, but everybody else who wants to go abroad to all the Arctic places.
You can sell it here. There was an alpaca place in St. Augustine.
For backers, yeah.
Yeah.
For somebody
For
like
travelers
him
that
who
are
wants to
coming
go
down.
out all
Yeah,
the
for
time.
those, because in Florida it's kind of hard to find winter gear because let's be honest, it never gets cold here. So this would be a way if you want to try backpacking for the first time, you could pick one of these up and carry with you as you learn and adapt your kit over time, I guess.